And it's offensive to a lot of Americans that Barack Obama wouldn't show his birth certificate. Now, on the one hand, that's understandable. On the other hand, no public official has commanded him to do that. And ordinary citizens can't command him to do that. So in one way, he's proper not to bow to that kind of pressure. On the other hand...
Let me ask you this. Why can't an ordinary citizen do that?
Because they don't have legal standing to do that. The way you go about doing that would be the way I did it, is to sue your Secretary of State for not protecting the integrity of the electoral process. But you cannot I can't command you to show me your birth certificate, Joe. Okay? And Philip Berg can't command Barack Obama to show his birth certificate. What Philip Berg could have done and what the other suits could have done is like what I did. You could sue your Secretary of State if you can prove that she didn't do a prescribed duty set down to her by law. Okay? In New Jersey, she had a prescribed duty to only certify names on the ballots who were, quote, by law entitled to be on the ballot. Well, what law entitles a candidate to run for president? In the United States, that would be Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the United States Constitution. Now, she has a constitutional duty as well as statutory duty because she takes an oath of office to uphold the Constitution. And every Secretary of State in the Union has the same job. They are the top election official in charge of ballot security and protecting the electoral process from fraudulent and frivolous candidates.
Okay, that's the Secretary of State in every state of the Union, right?
That's correct. In New Jersey, I called up when I heard about all these lawsuits in the middle of October. On October 22nd, I called up the Secretary of State, and I asked her one of her top officials, the third official in charge of the Elections Division in New Jersey, what they did to verify the eligibility of the candidates, because I didn't believe that Obama or McCain was eligible. And they told me that she did nothing but assume that they were eligible because the parties nominated them.
Okay, let me make this point, Leo. All right? Everybody assumes that everything is okay with him. All right, who is the final arbiter, or who is the final guardian of maintaining our Constitution in this instance?
Okay, in this instance, at the state level, that would be the Secretary of State because she takes an oath to uphold the Constitution. The issue to the framers was that they had just fought a revolution to get away from the British monarchy, okay? And when it came to drafting the Constitution and making the requirements to be president, they did not want the president to be subject to the laws of another jurisdiction, okay? They couldn't possibly see every possible scenario where that might arise.
Right.
In John McCain's case, and we'll get to Barack Obama in a second because that's the main issue, but I just want to say this so people know that my suit was bipartisan based on my respect for the Constitution and nothing else.
Okay, now you also have precedence in your case, though. This is not the first time that this has happened. It's happened actually in recent history as well, with a number of candidates who have been removed from the ballot because they did not qualify, as is what is required by the Constitution.
That's true, especially this year, that you would see that. This is what was interesting, is that this year you could see the Secretary of State in action as to the candidate Roger Calero. Roger Calero was the presidential candidate for the Socialist Workers' Party. The Socialist Workers' Party went about legally obtaining access to 10 ballots in 10 different states. In 5 of those states, the Secretaries of State said, Mr. Calero, you're going to have to put a substitute candidate in. You are not eligible under the Constitution. Article 2, Section 1, you're not a natural-born citizen. We will not allow you to defile our ballot.
Okay, now the $64 question is why that did not occur with Barack Obama in the same way. Now please continue.
I can't answer that question for you.
Okay, I think I can. All right, but we'll get to that as not receiving.
One of the reasons is the Senate went about passing a resolution to say that John McCain was eligible as a natural-born citizen. Now, this resolution that the Senate passed is no different than you and I talking on the phone right now. It has no legal authority whatsoever. None. It has nothing to do with being a law, but they made it look like a law.
Okay.
Because they couldn't legislate natural-born citizen status. If they could have legislated that, believe me, they would have. John McCain was a candidate in 2000. People were talking about the fact he was born in Panama in 2000. If there was a problem with his eligibility, they had 8 years to correct it if they could, but they couldn't. It would take a constitutional amendment for them to legislate what natural-born citizen means.